This video is made in partnership with Steelcase. I have been working on building and refining my home office for over 3 years now. I think this is like the 5th or 6th iteration of this space, but that's not surprising if you know me. Designing spaces has been a hobby of mine ever since I was a teenager, so making changes to this setup is definitely on brand. I aspire to create the most beautiful and functional home office for me, but as I continue to grow, my definition of beautiful and functional changes. So the target kind of keeps on moving, and I've accepted that fact. Thankfully, I enjoy designing spaces, so that's not really a problem. Regardless of how the setup changes, there are gear and tools that have changed the way I work forever. Things that have improved my work experience, and now that I've tried them, I can never go back. These are what I'm calling the foundations of my desk setup. I want to share them with you along with my reasons as to how and why they help me, and also share the specific products I use. Please don't get caught up with the specific items in this list. These are my personal favorites. You can simply use them as an inspiration, find alternatives whenever necessary, and improve on whatever it is that you find helpful in this video. But if you are sold and want exactly what I have, I'll have them linked down below. I have experienced my fair share of cheaper, affordable chairs, and they might seem like they get the job done, but the question is, how good are they at doing their job if your back is hurting at the end of the day? And that was my experience. I never really paid attention to the type of chair I'm sitting on until my back started hurting back in 2020. Ever since then, I have decided that investing in a good chair is well worth it, especially since I sit for 8 to 10 hours a day at my desk, which nowadays is longer than my sleep. I look at it more than just something I sit on, but a tool that helps me get the job done. I've been using the Steelcase Karman. It's part of their high-performance chair line, which is designed to help you stay engaged, focused, and connected with your work. And this chair is amazing. There's more to it than meets the eye. Unlike traditional office chairs, the Steelcase Karman is built for the modern user. It's designed to move with you and help you do your best in whatever you are doing. It's a chair that not only looks beautiful, modern, and cool, but it's designed with work and play in mind. This chair is weight activated, which means the chair automatically adjusts and responds to your body weight and gives the right amount of back tension and resistance, which is pretty cool. And if you desire a bit more tension, there's a boost setting that gives you 20% additional resistance. It also has a feature called Live Back Technology that supports your back and spine so you can move and twist and do anything that's natural to you, and Karman will move the way your body does. Simply put, focus on what you do best and the chair will adapt to you. Whether it's time to work or play, using mouse and keyboard or controller, the Steelcase Karman can handle it all. I've sat on chairs that feel restricting, and this chair is not that at all. It has 4D adjustable arms so you can adjust the height, width, depth, and pivot, which adds to how intuitive and versatile the Steelcase Karman is. The seat itself is comfortable, it allows you to sit and move around, and despite not being ergonomic, you can sit on it with your feet up. There are 4 recline positions, the third one being the boost mode that I talked about earlier, and the fourth one is full recline, which is my favorite setting for relaxing. And if you want, there's also an optional lumbar support that you can add or remove. The design of the Steelcase Karman demonstrates a notable level of thoughtfulness and intentionality, which I greatly appreciate as an architect. It's constructed using sustainable materials and it's using the least number of components as necessary. This results in a weight of only 29 pounds, which is about 35 to 42% lighter than most chairs. And to top it all off, the Steelcase Karman adds beauty and sophistication to any space it's placed in. If you're shopping for a chair, I highly suggest checking out the Steelcase Karman or their other high-performance chairs by using the link below. Thank you Steelcase for sponsoring this video. Getting a proper monitor that complements your needs makes a huge difference. Since most of my work is done digitally, my monitor is kind of how I engage and experience my work. And the monitor I'm using can make or break that experience. For content creation and architecture work, I have been enjoying the Studio Display from Apple. It has a 5K display that delivers sharp text and images. It has excellent color accuracy, great microphone, and the best speakers you'll ever hear on a monitor. However, the webcam needs a serious upgrade. Unless you're willing to spend $5,000 for the Pro XDR display, this is the best monitor you can get if you have a Mac. But if you want a monitor that can do it all, this is not it. This is limited to 60 Hz, no variable refresh rate, no HDR support. It's $1,600, which is pretty expensive, and if you're planning on using it with the PC, then this next monitor might be better for you. I was looking for a monitor that I could use for gaming with my PC and something my wife could use with her MacBook, and I found the Spectrum one. Full disclosure, Doe sent this for me to try out. However, they are seeing this video the same time as you, and they had no input in this whatsoever. I've been interested in their monitors for a while now. In fact, I ordered the Spectrum Black with my own money, and so when they reached out and asked if I wanted to try the Spectrum One, it was a no-brainer. This monitor is a 27-inch 4K display with IPS panel that has 100% sRGB and 98% DCI-P3, and it's factory calibrated, so it's great for creative work. It has a good selection of ports, including a USB-C 3.2, which is capable of delivering up to 100 watt power, which allows for a single wire setup for connecting a MacBook Pro to this monitor. It has a Gorilla Glass display, which gives it better anti-reflective properties and scratch resistance. And my favorite part, this monitor has a glossy display. I have the Glossy Studio display, and I've had no issues with glare or anything like that. With the glossy display, you get an image that is vibrant, you get nice deep blacks, which is great for consuming content and gaming. Speaking of gaming, this has 144Hz refresh rate, 1 millisecond response time, and it is FreeSync and G-Sync compatible. This makes gaming on this monitor really enjoyable. The vibrant image of the glossy display makes games feel so immersive and lively. The colors seem to be close to my studio display, although I still recommend calibrating it just to be safe, especially if color is important for your work. This monitor has a built-in KVM switch that makes it really easy to switch between devices, so I can use it for gaming with my PC, and my wife can use it with her MacBook Pro. On paper, this monitor checks the box for both work and gaming. I definitely want to do more testing on it, but it's been really good so far. The icing on the cake for me is the design. It's very minimal, which I like. It has very minimal branding. It looks sleek with those thin bezels, and even the stand that you can get with it looks pretty cool, and it should look good on any setup. You can actually get this monitor on B&H with or without the stand. It's a small thing, but I'm glad that they gave you the option because you can save $100 by not getting one. And if you're like me, you'll probably mount it on a monitor arm anyway. When it comes to monitor arms, my number one recommendation is the monitor arm from Ergonoffice, mostly because of how compact it is. The base is so much smaller than others without sacrificing stability, and it just looks so clean and sleek. However, this only holds up to a 27-inch monitor, so if you have a monitor bigger than that, I would suggest looking into an Ergotron monitor arm, as they can hold bigger monitors and they are so sturdy. I like using monitor arms because they are a simple way to free up your desk space and achieve a streamlined look. This also allows you to set your monitor at the proper height so you can adjust your monitors whether you're sitting or standing, and it helps improve comfort and posture. Speaking of posture, having a standing desk has been a game changer for me. Aside from health benefits of standing, it helps me clear my mind and get rid of mental block. At the very least, I try to stand every hour for a few minutes to half an hour, and having a standing desk allows me to switch between sitting and standing, which has become an essential part of my work. I'm not gonna lie though, sometimes I get too busy and forget about standing, but this is something I'm trying to be intentional about. Fortunately, the desk I'm using has reminders that notify me to stand every hour, and that has helped me stay on top of it. Having a standing desk is also very practical as a content creator. For example, I can raise or lower the desk so I can frame my shots better, and this is also super clutch when working on cable management because it makes things more convenient and accessible. The desk I'm using is the Sway desk from Ergonoffice. It has a 30-inch by 60-inch walnut desktop, which is definitely stunning, but what's more important is that this is a 30-inch deep desk. 30 inches is a pretty standard depth for a desk, and I would suggest paying attention to this. I used to have the famous IKEA Carlby countertop, which is only 24 inches deep, and although it got the job done, it can feel a little cramped. By having a 30-inch deep desk, you get a better viewing distance from your monitor, and this is especially important if you have an ultra-wide monitor or a dual monitor setup. This will also give you more space for your peripherals and whatever else you want to place on your desk. My gaming desk right here is actually only 24 inches by 48 inches, and the main reason for this is my door is only about 26 inches, and the whole idea for creating this desk was to make it so I can roll it out of this space whenever I want. And although I love having that functionality, I do wish that this was a 30-inch deep desk. To achieve this mobile work / gaming setup, I have casters installed on this desk so that I can roll it away and use it in different parts of our home. This is particularly useful, especially when I'm filming just like this and my wife needs to dock her MacBook Pro, or when I want to play late at night and I want to be close to my wife and son. For my main desk setup, I have casters for another reason. I'm constantly making changes to the home office, and this makes it so much easier to test out different space configurations and I can easily move my desk away from the wall for cleaning, changing accessories, and managing cables. This is such a simple addition and it makes things so convenient for me, so it's definitely a must-have for me from now on. I kind of went back and forth on this, but the desk shelf is something I enjoy using, but I can't say that it's always going to be part of my setup, so it's kind of like an honorable mention. Without it, you get a sleek, minimal look, and with it, you get a bit more organization for your desk, and it could double your surface area since you can place items on top and at the bottom. Right now, I'm using the one from Ugmonk, but you can't go wrong with Grovemate or Bololo, it just depends on your use case. Addressing your cable management can make a huge difference when it comes to visual clutter. I used to dread cable management, but I realized that that's only because I didn't know where to start. And now that I've built multiple desk setups, there's one cable management product that I highly recommend because it makes everything so easy. It's the cable management solution from Ergonoffice. It comes with this perforated metal rack, power strip, and you can actually get this by itself and install it on your existing desk. What I love about this is how simple and convenient it is to use. It's really hard to mess up because it's so easy. I like to start by plugging in all of my devices. I gather the excess cables, use cable ties, and then I hook them onto these perforations. And the end result is a super clean setup, and it also acts as a modesty panel, which is great if you have your desk away from the wall, like my previous setup. I almost never turn this light on. It's the worst. It kills the vibe in my space and I just don't like it. And when I'm on my desk, it's right behind me, so it just kind of casts a shadow onto my desk, which is not really ideal. So I really only turn it on when I'm quickly grabbing something or when I'm cleaning my space. Having the right lighting in your workspace can enhance your productivity and allow you to focus better and work more efficiently. And I think we can all agree that this looks better than this. Let's break it down. Of course, you can't beat natural lighting, but when you live in a state just like Alaska and it's winter, we don't really get much sunlight, so artificial lighting is a must. One of my favorite ways to light up my desk is by using a monitor light bar. It serves two purposes. First, it acts as a task light so I can see what's on my desk clearly. It helps me when I'm writing, reviewing documents. And second, it acts as an indirect lighting without taking up any desk real estate. The one I'm using is from BenQ. This specific version has a backlight that reduces eye strain and enhances eye comfort. This makes working in darker environments or at night much better. And you can use this dial to control the temperature and brightness of the light. Then I build on this by adding a few lighting elements. I have this palm floor lamp from Gantry to cast a nice warm glow on my desk. I have two Govee neon rope on either side of the wood slats, which helps fill in the shadows, and it looks really cool in my opinion. Then I also have this filming tube that I magnetically attached to this bookshelf. But you don't need this many lights. Some of them are for aesthetics more than function. If you want a simple way to improve the vibe of your office, you can get a floor lamp like this, and I have similar options linked below. I like this because it projects light onto the ceiling, which creates a nice even glow that minimizes shadows and glare, and it makes the space feel really cozy. I would pair this with smart bulbs so you can control it using voice commands, and also so you can adjust the brightness. This should create that nice warm feeling in your room, or if you want some RGB, you can go crazy with it. So getting the lamp and the monitor light bar gets you most of the way there. When it comes to my mouse and keyboard, I am a big fan of wireless accessories. It's just so much more convenient and it's so much cleaner on your desk. For my keyboard, I was using the MX Mechanical Mini for the longest time, but recently I've been using the Keychron Q1 Max and really enjoying it. It's a 75% layout keyboard. It works with Windows or Mac, and you can use it plugged in or with the receiver or Bluetooth. I went with the brown switches, which I really like. It has this satisfying sound, which is not overbearing, and it's really nice to type on. It has an aluminum frame, so it's pretty solid and heavy. And my favorite thing is it has a knob, which is so awesome, although I'm still deciding what to set it for. And for my mouse, I'm still using the MX Master 3S. I think this is the best mouse that you can get. The thumb scroll, quiet clicks, and customizable button is just so hard to beat, and I just really love this thing. I might need to get the white version though, so it matches my new keyboard. Having a desk mat is like adding a rug to your living room or a placemat on your dining table. It adds visual organization and it serves as a dedicated space for your mouse, keyboard, and other accessories. As much as I want to show off the tabletop of my desk, I want to minimize the amount of scratches and dings that it would get from my everyday use. And having a desk mat helps me have more peace of mind and not stress out about it. I I like having a desk mat with the size of about 16 by 32 inches. I think that's the perfect size. It's not too big, it's not too small. I get enough space for my mouse and keyboard, and I have room to spare for other things like my tablet, coffee mug, camera, and other things. My favorite desk mat by far is the Matte Desk Pad by Grovemade. I really like the finish of this. It's made out of natural linoleum. Don't ask me about it. I link Grovemade's website down below so you can read it for yourself. But I like that it's a little bit thicker and heavier, so it doesn't move around when you're using it on your desk, and I think it looks really good. Investing in proper speakers can help create a more enjoyable atmosphere in your space. I love listening to music while working. There's something peaceful and relaxing about it. It helps me get in a better mood and even stay motivated. However, if your speakers are producing terrible sound, then it can have the opposite effect. I have been using the Kanto U4 speakers for a few years now, and I still enjoy them to this day. The sound quality is more than enjoyable, and it's honestly good enough even without a sub. If you're wanting something that can fill up a small to a medium-sized space, then I highly suggest trying out the Sonos Era 300. It's not a traditional computer speakers, but I think it's more versatile. I had the pleasure of testing them early this year, and it's probably the best speakers I've ever used. It has a wide sound stage, great separation, and music comes to life with the Sonos Era 300, especially when you play Dolby Atmos content or spatial audio. I have a full video reviewing the Sonos Era 300, which I'll link in the description below. So those are the things that I'll most likely have for every desk setup I build for myself in the future. They have improved and changed the way I work forever. If you guys made it this far in the video, type forever in the comments below. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you loved it, subscribe to the channel. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.